What's up guys, BrunsNick's back, and it's time to build another 3-ball arsenal using all Ebonite product. Today I'll be using the One, the Emerge, and the GB4 Hybrid. 3 completely different bowling balls with different characteristics on the lane, so they should do a lot of different things for me. I have SPECTO running, so we'll be able to look at some of the data, but before we get to all that, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Now, let's see these Ebonite balls in action. All right, it's time to talk about arsenal building, and today we're using Ebonite bowling balls. I have the One, the brand new Emerge, and of course, GB4 Hybrid. So all these bowling balls are made to fit kind of within each other. You know, try to go to steps 1, 2, 3. Building block of an arsenal is being able to have bowling balls that do different things and work together well. So I have SPECTO running. We'll look at some of the data, and we're bowling on a different pattern today. We're bowling on test heavy. Now normally I bowl on test medium on all my videos. Shows a lot of friction, and people wanted to see a little more separation between them. We have some games bowled on it. This is the last video of the day. Fair warning. So we have some surface play out there. We have a little bit of friction built in. So we're gonna start it out with GB4 Hybrid. We're gonna play it straight. We're gonna see if this is maybe enough ball for the pattern. We'll see. I'm just gonna start kind of in my little track area to kind of see what the lanes are doing. This is how I would normally warm up. Obviously a lot of oil out there today. You know, we'll maybe try a different ball. In that same zone, we'll go to the One. But I'm going to talk about some surface changes as well, and which ball would be best suited for a surface change out of these 3. You know, Emerge is a very flippy ball. GB4 Hybrid is a flippy ball, but a little less hook. And then the One's a pretty flippy ball. It's a shiny solid. So let's try the One in that same area. Let's see if maybe a little bit more core and cover is enough to get it back. Not quite. So right out of the get-go, I need to create a little more separation between the 2. I'm going to need a ball with some surface, and it's not going to be the Emerge. It's not. It's going to be the One. It has that stronger cover under there, but it's also finished pretty shiny. So we need to get that surface down a little bit. So we got our trusty pads here. For this, I'll be using a 1500 by hand just to give it a light scuff. I'm not looking to put a lot of pressure on this ball. I just want to knock that shine right off of there. You always want to do a circular motion, work it all around the ball in a uniform fashion. The main thing we want to get here is a ball that's going to slow down. And obviously, when a ball slows down more, it has a chance to hook more, and it also has a chance to go through the pins better. Ball that doesn't slow down doesn't have a good chance of striking. All right, let's play in that same zone. Let's see if surface is enough. Play it right through the oil. So, night and day difference. Guys, ladies, play with the surface of your bowling balls. Don't be afraid to test them out. Try different things, because if you don't like it, it'll go right back. Or you can just have it changed again. You know, putting surface on a ball, taking it off, real easy to do. All right, let's try that again. This time I'm going to give it a little bit more room to hook. Big time difference there. All right, so as we bowl more and break down the pattern, you know, when you look to get out of a ball like the One, which is a strong asymmetric ball, high intermediate, high differential, and now dull surface, where do we go to from here? You know, on a heavy oil pattern, is the GB4 ever going to be an option? Can we play straighter with it? Let's try. So before we rule it out completely from using it until later when we get the burn, can we play this maybe from straighter angles, or is it going to give me too much straight in the front and not enough roll to get to control the fresh pattern. So it did strike, it went through the pins, kind of okay, kind of deflected a little bit, but the ball didn't slow down in the zone that I thought was proper. Didn't quite go through the pins the right way because it waited, and then went. That's just how it is with a ball that's a little shinier. Plenty of oil on the ball there. Let's try it again. Let's see if maybe what happens if I get it in the oil maybe a little bit. And maybe we can see even what another problem might be. So that's in a little bit. Oh, it's hooking. So with the shiny balls, especially symmetric balls, they're very prone to their environment. You know, if you get it out a little bit, it kind of labors, you get it in and wants to snap when it sees the friction. That's not a recipe for success, is it? All right, so what happens when we go to a skid flip ball? Kind of in the same zone as where we were playing the one. Let's try it. Do I remember where I was playing? Yeah, I think I do. All right, so this ball has not been touched surface-wise, a lot shinier. Okay, so it did not have that pickup. It did not have that roll. Now a skid flip ball that doesn't skid flip, what does that tell you? The lanes aren't transitioned enough. There's not enough dry boards worked into this pattern yet to use a ball like this, unless we hit it with just a little bit of surface. And we can do that, we might do it here in a little bit. But ultimately, starting out, tournament, block, league, or whatever, when the lanes are kind of juiced, if I move it right a little bit to try to square it up, is this gonna be the right ball to start with? Don't know. Let's move, I'm gonna move 5. We'll see. Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. You know, even with straightening up the angles there, still comes behind the head pin. You just gotta wait for a ball like that. The Emerge is a skid flip ball, hyperkinetic 22. It's made to be clean. So without surface, the ball is just gonna kind of sit out there and wait and wait and wait. Now, if you have a lot less ball speed or a lot more friction where you're bowling on the pattern or whatever, then you can definitely get away with using balls like that earlier. But they're made to be saved for later in the round when the lanes have transitioned and burned up. You can see just how much more authority the one has with a little surface. So let's put just a little bit of surface on the Emerge. Not a lot, not 1500. We're gonna hit this one with a 2000 pad because I don't want to change the characteristics of the ball that much. I just want to give a little bit more reaction closer to me. So bringing surface on the ball, that's all it's gonna do. It's not gonna make this ball all of a sudden a big old hook monster, but at the same time, it's gonna keep the characteristics of that skid flip intact, where you're not burning off too much energy, you're still saving a lot for the back end. So I'm using pretty good pressure here, medium hard. Now let's switch it out. Let's see what 2000 grit on the Emerge does in that same zone, where the one really has no issues. And ideally, we don't want this to be exactly the same. We want this to be just a little closer, but we want it to be a little bit less, I think. Yeah, didn't get that one out quite as far, but we're starting to see that come behind the head pin, it doesn't read and change directions as hard as the one because the cover stock's just not as strong. When there's a lot of oil out there, right? Now, it'll flip-flop once the lanes break down, and this ball is cleaner shell, cleaner cover, more responsive flip on the back. When the lanes break down more, or the one starts to labor and roll forward, this one will pick up right where you left off. It's out wide. Yeah. So obviously emerge, much better there. I think that's going to be set up perfect now that we have the one dull, we have the emerge with a little bit of surface. Now where does the GB4 hybrid come into play? Obviously if we try to play that same zone, I don't think the results are going to be very great, but let's try it and then we'll talk about it. Yeah, just not enough surface, not enough ball. So this ball will come into play a lot later. You know, as the lanes really break down, if you're bowling like an 8-game block in PBA or whatever, long format, chances are you'll be able to get into this ball much later. But on fresh heavy, you gotta know where your bowling balls fit. And for right now, the one at top with a lot of surface at 1500 grit, the emerge with a 2000 light scuff, and then the GB4 hybrid. I'll leave it out of the box for me right now. I could dull it, but I also don't want to have issues maybe later in the block when it's really dry and I need something that's really clean. So those are the 1, 2, 3. Let me know in the comments below what your 3-ball arsenal would be with Ebonite bowling balls, past or present. Go back as far as you want and let me know in the comments below. Till then, please subscribe if you haven't already. Talk to you guys soon.